Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about how to generate 20% plus yearly from the stocks that you already own, and we're going to do this with option trading. So this is a special advantage that option traders have over other types of traders. We can actually sell some promises on the stuff that we already own and thus generate cash from those promises, because the buyers of the promises will be paying us a little premium. So before we go there, I would like to invite you to join my academy at optionmindful.com, visit my Instagram page at optionmindful, Twitter page optionmindful.com, and if you like, also join a Telegram group where I publish from time to time some interesting news on trading and basically some tips and stuff like this, some news and interesting things, stories, and join a little community. It's a new group, but I invite you to be the first ones to be there. So, but let's move on. Let's talk about generating this 20% yearly income from the stuff that you already own. I want to explain this with a little example, a little bit out of the stock market, just to for those guys of you who are new to trading or option trading, to understand it better. And the example will be a house. So imagine instead of owning stocks, you may own a house. Your owner is you, asset is the house. We will replace it later in the real example, which I'm going to do, with stocks of some company. The current value of this house is 100k. Okay, sounds fair enough. And now, how can we use this asset to generate some profit out of this, some good income out of this, some good return on investment? Well, a typical thing that people would do would be just rent it out to someone else and just generate monthly income from that. But we're not going to do this, renting out. We're going to be doing something else. I'm going to illustrate a scenario that we're going to be using with our option trading with the stocks, because stocks definitely you cannot really rent out, right? So how would that work? So imagine this scenario when there is this other businessman here, and this guy is looking at our house and he thinks, well, I think the value of this house will go up like crazy in the next month. I don't have 100k to pay for this house because I think that the value will go up, but I don't have enough money to pay for this house. So maybe there is some other way I can create profit for myself from this knowledge that I'm thinking that it's going to go up next month really crazy. Is there a way? Yeah, there is options, and we know something about this. So if I'm the owner, I can say, you know what, Mr. Businessman, I can promise to sell you this house for 110k. So see, the price is above the 100, the current value of the asset. I can promise to sell you this for 110k. Sell you the promise, actually the paper where I promise you to give you that house for 100k, so we can have that paper. And this paper will allow you to get that house, even if it goes to 1 million in value, you can still get it for 100k if you just show me this little piece of paper, which is my promise. And this promise will be valid for a month. Okay, so because you expect this for a month, okay, then I'm going to make this promise valid for a month for you. But I also want to be rewarded for this, because I'm promising you, something. So the house is worth 100,000. I'm promising to sell you this for 110, give you a paper allowing you to buy this for 110k. And for that promise, for this month, I would like to charge you 1,850 bucks. This number I didn't come up with this just out of the thin air. I calculated this comes roughly above 20% of return on investment if we multiply this by 12 months, so yearly. So, but having this scenario, I don't think that the house will reach this price in a month. So therefore I feel comfortable promising this, because I really want to keep that asset. I think that this guy is wrong. His assumption is that this will go next month like crazy up above this price, so he can make some profits. But I think no. So I will just keep the money and sell him this promise, and the promise will expire worthless because the house will not reach this price level. So this guy definitely will not make any money out of this. So and he definitely will not want to buy this house for 100k using this contract, 110k. If the house is worth 100, he doesn't have any money anyway. So will he agree? Yeah, that's cool. Let's do this. If my plan works out, I will get a $1 million house for 110k. Is 8 my 110k from here, from this picture, the PowerPoint or whatever, Keynote 8 it. But yeah, that's what he wants to say. He thinks that it's a good deal. So he wants to pay $1,850 to control $100,000 worth of asset for 1 month, because he's thinking that it's gonna go to 1 million. Maybe he's right, maybe not. I don't think he is, so therefore I feel comfortable giving him this promise and collecting $1,850. So now my thinking is, well, so if I could collect $1,850 every month, that would be $22,200 in a year. That's more than 22% return on on this investment. So if I had 100K invested, 22,200 is more than 22% return. So it's fantastic. I'm getting 22% of my value of my house in a year, because this guy wants to be buying these promises for me every month and paying me $1,850. Okay, this scenario is not really like realistic, but you will see how we can reflect this in option trading when I will be selling promises to sell some other asset to some guy somewhere in the ether of the stock market. So well, that's fantastic. And even if I have to sell the house for 110K to this guy because he was right and the price went to 1 million, well, then I have to fulfill my promise to sell him for 110K the house, which is worth 1 million now. But I'm still not in a so terrible situation unless I love the house, because I'm still making 10K from the difference. 100 went to 110K, so I make 10K plus he paid me for the promise, 1,850. Okay, profit out of this deal. If the price drops, I don't care, I'm gonna collect 1,850, but I want to have this house anyway, so I don't care that it's valued now at 80,000 or 70,000, I still have my house. So it's a win-win kind of situation for me, and it's a fantastic way to generating income from the stuff that you already own. If you're an option trader, you can do this, and you can sell these promises month by month. Some people sell weekly promises, and I will show you just in a moment how to do this. So let's switch to the trading platform, and I'm gonna go there now. So I have already prepared a little trade because I saw this actually this morning, so I thought I'm gonna record this video. I own 1,000 shares of GOLD. It's a gold mining company, Barrick Gold. 1,000 shares, and I see that it's just sitting there. Okay, it's an asset that I own. It just sits there, and what can happen with this asset? The value of this asset can go either down or up. Right now I'm showing some profit, little profit, because I purchased it at $20.48 per share, so I have invested $20,480 in these shares of gold company. Now it's worth $20.57, so I made a little bit of dollars, $90 on it, but basically it just sits there and waits either going up or down. And if it goes down, I'm gonna be losing money. If it goes up, I'm gonna be maybe making some money on paper, like seeing it here. But my idea with this trade is I want to keep this asset, but I would like to reduce the cost of ownership and generate some cash flow for me from that, so kind of like doing a rental on it. So let's reflect the situation. If gold is now the house, I could sell somebody a promise to sell gold stocks, all the 1,000 shares that I have, not for 20 or 21 per share. I could promise to sell somebody my gold for $22 per share, which would be a profit for me, and I don't think it's gonna get there in a month. Okay, so how much cash would I collect for that promise? Well, in option trading, I would have to go to Trade tab and find first of all option chain with enough days till expiry. So I'm looking for collecting something in a month or 25 days. In this case, I'm selecting this option chain here because I want to make my promise for 25 days. So I'm going to open the chain. I'm going to search for a contract which is at $22. Okay, and I see that I could collect something between 35 to 38 cents per share, but I have 1,000 shares. That means $350 to $380 of premium for 1,000 shares that I own. So I would say, you know what, I want to sell this promise. So you see there's a little sell pop up below my mouse cursor. I can click that and sell 10 contracts. This 10 contracts I have to multiply by 100 because one contract in option trading is valid for 100 shares. So 10 contracts sold, negative, you see, is valid for 1,000 shares, which I already own. So I'm making a promise to sell these shares for $22 to somebody until 19th of March 2021, so 25 days. Okay, And for this promise, I'm gonna collect, and I can choose actually to collect a little bit more, $360 for this premium for this promise. I can go to analyze this trade, so I can click this here, analyze trade, and I can see how that looks like. I have to unclick this. So I have 1,000 shares. If I didn't sell any promise, this is a risk chart showing us profit and loss potential, and depending on the price of the shares. So you see the shares are now $20.50 57 cents. So we're sitting exactly here. If the price goes up, we're making $1,500, $1,000, $2,000. If it goes to $22, if it stands still, I make nothing though. And if it starts dropping to 20, I'm gonna lose 419. I'm gonna lose $1,465 on this. So you know, this is quite, you know, it's like value of the house. Value of the house can go up or down. Okay, that's how I see this. But now I made my promise for selling this house for $22. So at the time when the house price would reach around value, would reach additional $1,500 more than it is worth right now. If I do sell that promise, so I click that button here, it's what it's gonna do to my risk chart on profit loss chart will be this. I will see that if the price goes above 22, what I promised, I'm capping my gains. Okay, I have to first of all sell this stock to somebody who I promised to sell it to, and then at that point I will be making 1,000. Watch this box, the blue number. At that point, it's an expiry date, the value of the you know, how much money I make at the expiry of the contract. It's $1,880. Okay, so that's what I would make. If, however, I never reach that place, if I never exceed $22, the price of the gold shares go up a little bit, maybe go down a little bit, you know, then I just get to keep the premium. I'm gonna keep $360 out of it. And how do I see that it's 360? I can unclick this and I can see my premium here, $360, until the time I reach $22 per share. Later on, this contract starts losing. However, I have something to back it up, and therefore the chart changes a little bit. So 360, how much is this yearly? So if I could repeat this process every year, let's find calculator. Oops, calculator, and come back to the chart first and do the calculator. If I can repeat this process all the time, so $360 times 12 months, so yearly I would generate income of $4,320 by just selling these promises. Remember, the stock, I own it at $20,000, $570, something like this. That's what I paid for it. No, that's what it's worth right now. I paid something less. I paid $20,480. So let's come back to our calculation. If I multiply this by 100 because I want to get a percentage, okay, I'm gonna get some number and I'm gonna divide this by 20,480. I'm gonna come up with the return on investment, and my return on investment would be 21% on the gold shares yearly. So by selling these promises over and over again, I could generate myself, you know, from the asset that I already own, 21% of its value, you know, as an income. Isn't it fantastic? Every month to receive $360, you know, just for owning this asset. Otherwise, it would just sitting still here, and I would hope if the price goes up, that's my hope, then I make some profit. If it doesn't, you know, then I don't make any profit. But if I can keep selling these promises, that's a sure thing. The premium that I get is a sure thing. And I could, in the best case, of course, generate this much if I'm doing this precisely. Of course, I could increase also the percentage of return on investment on this simply by selling promises at lower levels, you know, not 22, but let's say promising to sell gold at 21. That would generate much higher premiums. However, it's very likely that I would at some point of time lose this 1,000 shares and not be able to sell this anymore, generate some profit. But if I want to keep that asset in my portfolio, probably I need to be very mindful about how high I sell my promises at. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you guys. This was the video about telling you how to generate 20% plus yearly returns from the stocks that you already own. I hope you guys liked the video. If you like, please press the like button. I would really appreciate it, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe if you want to my channel. I welcome you to also visit all these websites and Telegram groups. Take good care. Happy trading. I hope you learned something cool today. Ciao, ciao.